Our purpose at We is to change the dismal statistics of our people, particularly Māori and Pasifika people. We do this through helping small and medium-sized businesses to thrive. Our businesses need our help. So many have felt the pressures of lockdown and are facing challenges that they've never faced before. Challenges that are impacting their livelihoods. That is why we're bringing you this series to share stories of the people behind our businesses, their successes, their failures, their challenges, and their triumphs.
If you are already in business, we hope you will be inspired. Perhaps someone will share one piece of gold that makes a difference in your business. If you've been thinking about starting a business, we hope that you will be motivated to start your own business venture.
We hope that by sharing these stories, we can help small businesses on the road to recovery all across New Zealand, Australia, and the Pacific.
So grab your cup of tea and whakarongo mai. Kia ora te whānau nau mai, haere mai. Welcome to our cup of tea this evening. So tonight we're talking to Sese from SS Civil. Thanks so much for joining us today, Sese. How are you doing?
Good, thank you. Good.
Awesome. Cancelling calls and organising work appointments.
Yep, definitely. Just trying to get that out of the way.
Well, you're a real busy man, and it would be actually quite good for us to talk too about how you've been able to keep business going, particularly since a lot of our business owners are struggling through COVID.
Yep.
So how have you managed to keep your business ticking over?
We fall under the category of essential services and drain laying. So we're doing big infrastructure projects, and we basically got the green light and level 4 to carry on with our work because the country's population is still growing. So I guess they just let us carry on with everything. So because we're doing all sewer upgrades, stormwater upgrades, the rain doesn't stop falling. So we're lucky to be in that category in this industry.
I don't know what's going on with my system at the moment. It's just not working. Now I've changed sides, but that's okay. So just really quickly, tell us a little bit about what it is that you do and how you got into business in the first place.
Okay, so I think I'm 33 now, but I started working when I was 15. I left school and I started laying concrete. Laid concrete for a couple of crowds out in West Auckland for about 10 years, with working other jobs as well. And then I changed in 2010 to drainage and started a drainage apprenticeship until now, getting certified and starting my business in 2016. So now we do all work from residential to commercial, big roading projects, and we have a team doing residential. We basically do everything you can see outside, from the house floor or building slab down underneath the ground and around it. So drains, landscaping, concrete, foundations. We do pretty much the whole night. Anything that falls under the civil banner.
So we were talking a little bit before about how you thought that people thought that getting into business was quite difficult, but actually it's a whole lot easier than people think. So tell us a little bit about the steps that you took to get yourself into business and to get prepared for being your own boss.
So probably the best things I did was ask people that I knew who were in business for advice, and they all basically said to me the same thing: just do it. And we basically got pushed into the deep end where we had to do it. So we did it, and it ended up working out. We probably the biggest tip I got from someone was, it's cheaper to pay tax. Someone told me that it's cheaper to cooperate. So we just, with that stuff, we just dotted the I's and crossed the T's and made sure we stuck to that. And yeah, we haven't slipped up on anything yet. Well, we won't slip up on anything. That's pretty much how we started.
Was there anything that stopped you from wanting to go into business in the first place?
The things that sort of scared me off it is the word business. I just thought business means you have to be grown up and you have to, talk a certain way. You have to dress a certain way. And I was like, man, I'm not built for this. I don't want to try this. But then it's not as scary as you think, because you can be your own character in this game. Well, I sort of treat it as a game now. One game we played when we were younger was Warcraft on the computer, and you sort of had to upgrade all your army troops and upgrade your village, and you had to buy the best tools. And so that's pretty much how I treat my business. Is I make sure I train my staff and I upgrade all my gear, make sure we got the best weapons out there in the field, and the best machines to transport us. That's how I apply everything. It sounds funny, but it actually worked for me. I treat it as a game.
What a great way of doing it, though.
Yeah.
Like, we talk a lot about gamifying things, and that's totally gamifying business, but it's a very similar concept.
Because in the game, you only get a certain budget you have to work with, and then you have to spend that budget, but you also have to grow it as well. So you have to find the resources to spend on stuff, but also gain the resources back. And it's sort of that circle, when you guys talk about cash flow. So that was probably the best thing I did, is change the we and then learn about cash flow properly, so that we could have that little circle rotating our budget and moving it around in the right way and using it the right way to grow, because you got to use it to grow as well. Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about that, because one of the things that we find as an accounting firm is that businesses think that they should just leave things up to their accountant, but you've learnt things and you've implemented things. So how has learning about cash flow and your taxes and stuff benefited you and your business?
I was one of those guys that thought, give it to the accountant and do it. And then when you guys started showing us these little systems or something, I was like, nah, I don't want to do that. But because we have done it, we understand the bigger picture better. So then we're able to, what would you call it? Section things. And then you can sort of progress faster in this section, which makes that section better, and then that section better. So that's probably for me, the learning about those topics like cash flow, the taxes you have to pay, and all that sort of stuff. That's a major level up. That's a major level up, and it also helps your mindset change too. Change the way you think about business, which probably the biggest game changer for us.
Yeah, that's really cool. So over the course of your time in business, who have been some of the people that have helped you out, or some of the advisors you've gone to, the people that you've listened to? Who are some of those people for you?
So one guy was a client. Some of the clients we had, we worked with, guy sort of gave me good tips on what not to do. And then there's other small business owners that I know around West Auckland that have sort of said you should be focusing on this. And these are guys that have failed as well. And I like taking advice from people that have done things for themselves. And these guys are giving me basically the shortcuts. When you work in trade, the whole idea while you're doing your scholarship, or not scholarship, while you're doing your apprenticeship, is you're learning of someone that's done it before you. So why would you question them when you're learning them? You're trying to, as we do when we're young, we question what these old fellas have to say. So for for the apprenticeship, I took it that way. So for business, I take it that way as well, and I get my advice from people with proven records, even if they've failed, because they know what it's like to fail. Why wouldn't you take that advice from them? Hey, we took the shortcut and it didn't work. Don't do that. So there's a lot of them out there that are keen to tell me, and I think that's pretty cool.
That is really cool. I think it is important to listen to how not to do things as well as how to do things, especially if the people have done it and failed. Why would you go and do the same thing and fail again? If you can, stop failure in one area of your business, then that would make perfect sense to listen.
Being open enough to tell someone, hey, I failed this way, don't do it this way. I think that's pretty special as well, because who wants to tell people they failed?
Talking about failure, is there anywhere in your business that you've failed that you want to tell other people, don't do it this way because I've done that and it didn't work?
I am failing at the moment at doing everything myself. So, and you only get 24 hours in a day. So I wish you got 1,000 hours in a day, because I'd be so much better. But anyway, time management, I'm failing at the moment. And saying yes all the time, where I need to start saying no. When my wife gives me hell, man, she's right. She said, why are you taking on all this stuff when you can't do this little thing over here, and you taking on all this other, which she's right. So time management, I'm failing in. And what was the other one I said? Time management, and probably I need to delegate a bit more, trying to do everything. Saying no. I need to say no. That's what I'm feeling.
Have you been told any tips, or have you been given any advice around those things that you just haven't taken yet, but you're going to start taking?
Yeah. I need to stop taking. I don't know what it is. I keep thinking I can do everything and conquer the world, but and then I start struggling, and then it affects everything else. The tips I've probably taken is from my wife again, is start saying no. Just imagine her face looking at me going, "This, you better say no." that's part of it. But I've started saying no this month.
It's good. I'm glad you said yes to this, though, so thank you for that.
Yeah. This is cool. These things are, I think, pretty cool, because then you can sit down and see where you're at this stage and have a reflection. I was here, and then here, now I'm here. So, and maybe we'll do it again in another 2 years or something. So I think these things are important.
Yeah.
And I think it's a privilege too.
Cool. Thank you. So, okay, we've already noted some of the challenges that you're facing in business: doing too much, not being able to delegate, unable to say no. There's some other challenges that you've faced in business, and what have you learnt from those challenges?
The other thing, especially being a Tongan, is the family stuff. Trying to have this business that's moving and growing and building, and like a train, just getting faster and faster on the tracks. And then you have the family stuff on the side, which is very important, and it's very close to my heart, where I've put it to the side. I think a bit, and again, my wife has sort of reminded me, hey, you can have this big train running, locomotive business running, but when it gets to where it's going, you need to have that family stuff there if we're waiting at the train stop, or if you will. So that's probably so that's one thing I've done as well, is sort of slow down and take those opportunities to spend time with not just my kids and my wife, but keep that I don't know, it's a Tongan thing. The family thing is very important for us, and my wife thinks it's very important, which is pretty cool. So making that time for that as well, and not being so business orientated as well, has been the best for probably for myself as a Tongan. Being happy in my culture as well, it has helped me in my business. Yeah, So spiritual, keeping the spiritual good.
Mm.
Trying to have your physical, mental, and your spiritual all up. I think it's very important.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's funny, we go into business and we think we're going to have more time to spend with family, but as you know, when you have a growing business, it takes up a lot of time. It's very demanding, but it is important that we don't become slaves to our business, and that we, we have a business there as a tool, as a vehicle, so that we can spend more time with our family. And sometimes, yeah, we have to just dig deep and do the mahi, but we've got to find ways to be able to step back and empower other people to be able to do some of that work, so that you can do the things that are also important to you, like your family.
Yeah, that's true. I try and keep that in mind when my guys ask for time off and they're having the kids, and I'm thinking, bro, the job's just no. You carry on. You're right. I just have to let the guys do their thing, because I don't want to be
Yeah.
we don't want to be that company. We're a very family oriented company.
Yeah.
And I want to look after my guys that way.
Tell me some other ways that you help to grow your team, to empower them, to grow them. What are some of the things that you're doing around that?
So I've got one thing we're doing at the moment. I've got 2 apprentices going through Unitech doing their apprenticeship, and I've told them that, well, they only have to pay for their first semester now, because the next year it's free. But I've told them I will pay up if they, when they pass, I will give them cash in the hand. Sorry, I will pay them half of their. They got to pay for their ticket, but I'll give them half of that fee straight to them as soon as they pass, which is, I think it's a good incentive for them. But paying for their studies is a good buy-in for them to make sure they stick to it. It's 2.5 years of night school, so I wasn't just going to outright pay for them to go, because this is not really a. When you have a buy-in thing, then you're sort of like, nah, I'm not going to waste my time. I'm going to do this, and then having our offer of giving them their money back once they pass, I think that's a good one. The other thing we have for our guys is we have a 5-year plan that they have to start their own business as well. So when you give them that sort of, I have to start my own business, then they have to start thinking like business owners, which is also it improves the production for our whole team when they start thinking of the next 5 steps ahead, instead of just what's happening on the day when you come, what's happening after Smoko. And I've seen that in my guys. I've seen that's worked very well. I've got 2 guys that, they're just head and shoulders above other workers I've seen. And I've told them, look, you work for me. You better be planning your business, what you're going to call it. You better be planning what you're going to do, because when you're ready, we're gonna slingshot you out there. And then them hearing that, thinking, oh, I can't have a business, can I? And I'm like, yes, you can, and you will. You go and work for some other company. You're not working for me unless that's your goal. And then seeing their, I don't know, it's just the way they carry themselves that's been the bonus for us, me and Shannon. So we're going to continue that with all the guys. We've got 1 drain layer, 2 apprentices that are doing their studies at the moment, and then we've got 3 other guys that will start next year, and we'll just roll them all out like that. I think it's good to give them the big picture.
Can I just say that that's pretty incredible? There are not many business owners that would help pay for their study, let alone encourage them to go into business, because ultimately you're paying to educate them to then in 5 years' time leave you potentially and go and start their own business. Like, a lot of people don't do those sorts of things.
But it's a ripple effect for us. We've been blessed with this, I don't know, this track that we're on. So getting these guys started, it's only going to ripple effect out to their families as well. So My plan is to be a boxing coach for the rest of my life. I've got my ticket. I got my skills. Your skills monetize forever and ever until you die. So I want to be a boxing coach, and I've told my guys that. I want you guys to branch out and start your own business. They got kids, and they'll end up teaching people the same thing. So that's the big goal for me and Shen. You imagine that though. You imagine the business owners teaching other people to be in business, like you guys are. You imagine the world we live in. People
I
running
know.
their own shows.
That's so cool. That's really cool. That's very, very cool. And very innovative too, can I just say.
Yeah.
So what's with this boxing coach stuff? Because I have seen that you're doing a lot of boxing. So is that another business that you're looking at starting, have already started? What's the deal there?
It's not really a business. It's more of a passion thing. I think getting into the trade has sort of secured me a future in anything I sort of choose. So even if I was a boxing coach full time, I can still fall back on my trade and do jobs as well. Later on, I find happiness in sort of teaching people. So we got like 25 kids at our gym at the moment, and they're all sort of 20 years and under. Some of them come from good backgrounds. Some of them, it's like a mixed bag of lollies. And seeing them grow in the gym, they come in at 12 years old, they start boxing. Basically we have to give them, we can't talk smack and not show them that we're also making big plans for our own lives as well. We have to walk the talk basically for these young fellas, and then seeing them grow is pretty cool. From talking about rap and talking about little things like I want to be talking about jewelry and fashion, to talking about buying houses and setting up plans for their families is pretty cool. So yeah, the boxing thing is very special to me.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think I'm lucky. So I have to try and spread that stuff as well.
I really like that about you, Sese, that you have gratitude for where you are and what you've got and the things that you've learned, and so you're off spreading that onto others and creating ripple effects. The team at we love to do that too, so it's really cool that also hopefully the stuff that we're teaching you're able to impart onto others as well.
Yeah, that's probably one of the best things we did is join we to learn. It's like an upskill. It's like the accelerate course we did. That was definitely accelerated us to where we are. Junior set us some goals, and I looked at my program last night, and we've reached that goal now. The financial year's not over, so yeah, that's the accelerate word is perfect. Perfect title for that course.
Awesome.
Yeah, but that's pretty cool. Yeah. I mean, I watched my mum. She worked heaps of jobs, 3 jobs at a time sometimes. I never heard her say she's tired. So when I think to myself, oh man, I'm tired, I think of my mum. She probably slapped me. Yeah.
You don't know what tired is, son.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's very cool. So look, before we finish up today, are there any other parting words of wisdom or any other advice that you'd like to give to other people that are either in business or thinking about going into business that are watching this?
If you're going into business, I think put your brave pants on and just do it. It's not as hard as people say it is. I'd say join in with We Accounting. Because it feels like with We Accounting that, when you have a back brace you can rely on sometimes, that's what it feels like. And when you have that sort of support, it's like, oh, sweet, I'll be all right. Just to point you in the right direction in times, when things get hard. That's what you need. And if you're in business, just keep the glass half empty so that you can always learn. Keep some room in your glass to learn every day. Don't think you always got the answers.
That's so true. Because even if you do have some answers, there might be better answers or different answers out there as well.
Yeah. I think that's true.
Really cool.
That's
really
how I
cool.
see it. Yeah.
Well, you guys have done really awesome. I remember when we first met you and to where you are now. And can I just reiterate what you said? You had 12 months goals that you did, and we're 8 months into the year and you've already reached them. That's pretty incredible.
Yeah, I think so too. I think we're blessed, so that's why we got to keep paying it forward as well. So it's good. Yeah.
Is there one thing in particular that you would say contributed to you reaching your goals already?
I think the one thing that contributed, apart from my faith, just the faith and family thing. That's two things, but yeah, that's the thing that keeps me grounded. Being grateful for what I have. Yeah, that's about it.
Those are some pretty cool things. So family, faith, and gratitude.
Yeah,
That's a pretty good recipe.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah,
That's really cool.
what did I hear the other day? Our people, Polynesians. That's one thing I have too. Like Tongans were discovering the world of sticks and stones. They were in America 1,000 years before Christopher Columbus was there. So we have the recipe. We just don't have all the ingredients at the moment. So you just got to try and claw your way through and do it. Yeah.
That's so good. Well, I think we often forget about our ancestors and what they did, the fact that they were mathematicians and scientists and explorers, navigators. They had incredible skills, and we have them too. We've just forgotten.
Yeah, exactly. We got that skills. The same exact skills that NASA has to build rocket ships. We got that.
Yeah, we absolutely do. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sese, it's been awesome having a cup of tea with you. Thank you so much for your time. I know you are a very busy man, and hopefully we haven't interrupted too many of your phone calls and your other meetings that you've got. So look, thank you once again, for your korero, for sharing your knowledge. And I really liked what you said, family, faith, and gratitude, making sure that we pay it forward.
Yeah, thanks, thanks, Wendy. Thanks for everything.
You're welcome. Thank you. All right, whānau, that's us for this evening, but we'll see you again on Wednesday at 8 p.m. That will be our last session for this year, because we're going to take a little bit of a break over Christmas, and then we'll be back again in the new year with more cup of tea stories just for you. All right. Mā te wā, whānau.